So hi, my name is Travis Lindsay. I'm a professor of entrepreneurship here at Cal State Fullerton. I'm also a co-founder of an angel investing fund called Titan Angels. And with me today is one of our residents at the CSUF Startup Incubator, Vinay Kumar. Vinay, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Travis, hi everybody. My name is Vinay. I'm the founder of a company called Shomee. We are a platform for discovering live events, concerts, online events, dining experiences, and fun things to do, basically, whether you're at stay at home or out and about. We just launched our site just this last month after 5 months involvement with Cal State's incubator program, which was a fantastic learning experience for us and really helped to put us on the right track to launch a product that we knew was going to have some traction.
Yeah, so let's unpack that a little bit more because 5 months ago the world was a completely different place, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, your company Shomee, it's focused completely on events. So, what was your response to the pandemic? And it's increasingly likely that large events are going to be put off for potentially even another year, maybe longer. So what was your response to that?
Yeah, so the interesting thing is that for a minute there, we were scrambling. We were thinking, okay, is our business model still going to work? Should we be looking into live streaming? Should we be looking into other things? And we did do that. We did go down that road. And by the time that we were looking at it, a lot of other companies, startups, and existing companies, of course, were already in the market and already at play. So we took a step back and said, well, look, people still need things to do. They have kids at home and summer's coming up and they're going to need to keep their kids occupied. Let's try and focus on things that could be of immediate interest to people in this climate. So that's what we did. We just started talking to our partners a little bit about what are the trends, what are the things that people are looking for, what are they searching for. And we started curating those kinds of events, such as online classes for kids, summer camps, online games, happy hours, dining experiences. So that's what we entered the market with our focus on what can people get value out of and what do they find desirable today. And over time, if that changes, and that's great, or if we find that this is our niche and we're going to be able to continue along this path and that we excel at it, that's even better because we've created a new footprint.
Yeah, so no, I mean, it was really impressive what you guys did by pivoting so quickly to, being more of like an aggregation service to people. And I mean, that's one of the conversations we had right about a month ago is just what can you do to start building up a community of people that are interested in events. And I think you pointed out rather adroitly that hey, you've got all these families. They're out there. They don't know what to do. They have no idea what all the virtual events are out there for their kids. I mean, I have a 2.5-year-old nephew, and so I'm not a parent or anything like that, so I don't have to raise him or anything. But just finding stuff for him to do is difficult. The couple hours a week I'm around him. And so finding events, that's a huge thing. And what I like about how you guys do it is that you're not specifically pushing your event. You're looking for the best events, right? The ones that would match up the best for families, for maybe young professionals who are looking to network and stuff like that. So walk me through that process. How do you go about finding these events?
Really, it's a curation process. Your eyes on the screen. As a matter of fact, I can even take it back to class research that was done. They helped us identify what is going to be a very good target market for us. And it was interesting because we were initially thinking millennials. Millennials are young and they have, extra money to spend and they like being out and stuff. But, based on the research, we learned that our target market is a little bit different. And the idea of the app was almost as desirable to people who are married couples who have younger children. I mean, they do date nights and they do their own kind of form of entertainment. And they, of course, they have money to spend, and they do it pretty regularly, once a week, twice a week, whatever it is. So we started focusing on what are those kinds of things. And in some cases, I even asked my girlfriend's opinion. She has an 11-year-old daughter, and I just asked her, what are you going to do with her in the summer? What's her social life? What are you doing? So we started looking at those kinds of things, keeping that customer in mind. What is their lifestyle right now? And what could be of benefit to them, and some relief to them, in some ways. So, getting back to your original question, the curation process is really it's very manual. We work with a couple of different ticketing partners, and we look at what are the latest events that have been created on their site, what is happening within a certain time period, or sometimes we'll do a search based on a particular topic, such as summer camps and things like that. And we start researching a little bit about each of the event creators, and we compile a list of those events, and then we'll put it into a single blog post or a single email blast that said, hey, check this out. We've found these 5 or 10 really great things that are happening this month that could be of interest for this particular type of user. And that's what we've been doing. And so if you were to go to our site right now, you would see great examples of how that is tailored towards making it easy for someone visiting our site to discover something of interest to them.
Yeah, and one thing that you said there is that, just a little bit of background for people who are listening, when you are a resident of our CSUF Startup Incubator, you get one of our student teams attached to your business, and their job is basically customer discovery. And that's a key thing that you did and that you were extremely open to from the get-go about doing. And the reason why it's so important, and you know this, I think, from your experience and maybe a little bit intuitively as well, but if you are building a business, you need to know what your customer's pain is. You need to know as much about them as possible so that you can build good solutions for them. So your initial hypothesis was that it was going to be millennials, but you found out that, well, they have options, they're already doing stuff, so let's focus on this other customer, families and stuff like that. And so that is helping you with the curation, helping you understand what to build. And really, I think it's helping you get traction because you just started the website, like a month ago? Yeah,
that's right.
And it's already getting traction?
It's already getting traction, few more users every day, so that's good.
And you actually already have advertisers too, I found on Instagram.
We do have advertisers, yes.
So, yeah, I'll just, rant for 20 seconds, but a lot of entrepreneurs, they fall in love with their idea as is, and they want to figure out how to make that work in the marketplace, and that is kind of like the backwards way of doing it. So now you've been a resident here at the incubator now for almost 6 months. How have you liked that process? What have been like the highlights of that?
Well, the highlight was the customer discovery process. It was basically proving your hypothesis, your idea, your essentially guess that this is an idea for a problem I can solve or a product that I think would be great. Until you actually get out and talk to people, get out of your comfort zone or out of your circle of people who are just going to be encouraging you, and get some real hard data on what people like, don't like, what they really are looking for. You're not going to know if your idea is going to fly. In the best case scenario, and what would happen with us, is that you will learn something that you didn't know. You have to treat it as sort of a scientific method. Doing enough research will get me enough data to give me the right answers. And I think that was the most valuable thing for us.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, getting the hell out of the building and talking with people is vitally important. And then besides that, how much do you think your original concept would have cost to build? Hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Well, yes, in full sales, yes. I think even just to get to a prototype that we can show people and say, what do you think of this, would have cost us $15,000. So we even held off on doing that, even though, and maybe Travis, you'll remember, the day that I walked into the incubator, I was asking, when can I show you this? And everybody was like, hey, put the brakes on for a second. Let us do our thing and give you some results, and then that'll help you decide what you need to build. But yeah, easily, within 50 to 100,000 could have been spent. Yeah, I'm sure we've saved a chunk of money.
Yeah, and so what you've done instead is do what we call like a minimum viable product, like from Lean Startup. And it's basically a test. You're already out there. You put the website out there. You have the email list that you're building, that you're sending to people already, and you're getting revenue. So you're proving out your concept before you actually have to make those larger investments. I think some people, especially people who haven't launched a business but are thinking of launching a business, they think that action is the most important thing, and they see action as being, launching at scale, doing that sort of thing. And so they come in here asking, hey, how do I get funding for this idea and stuff like that? But that's not really the case. In a situation like with you, you are an extremely active founder, and you're always working on the business, and you're just focusing on things that have a much higher ROI and are much more feasible for you right now. So you're bootstrapping your business. What other stuff are you and your family up to?
I think this entrepreneurial spirit has been in our family from the very beginning. Even from my grandparents on both sides of my family. I've been in IT for about 25 years, but outside of that, I'm also a performing musician. I'm an artist, and that was kind of the impetus for Shomee, as a matter of fact, is, what can we do to revitalize interest in the arts and really getting people off the couch and into live venues of any kind to appreciate that live experience again.
So a broader question, since all events now are virtual, where do you see that industry going? I mean, you're immersed in it. You see it from multiple different perspectives. What do you see the trends being over the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of surprised me how quickly people adapted and how quickly they accepted kind of not just their situation, but accepted kind of doing things in a different way, except like doing like a virtual happy hour. Okay, you can't get together with friends in person, but you can still get together with them online. It's very quickly become not just normal, but something we look forward to. And I think we're going to continue to see that in every aspect of their life. I think we're going to see that there's going to be a hybrid of this, ongoing, at least for the next 6 to 12 months. And people are just going to not just get more accustomed to it, but I think they're going to get more creative about ways to keep themselves occupied, keep themselves entertained. And of course, the speed at which technology and product offerings is going to evolve to meet those demands, I think it's going to be very rapid. And I think we're going to have a whole new kind of industry just around online events in the next 12 months.
Yeah, and what do you see in terms of like independent artists adjusting to this new norm? Are they creating anything? Are they opening up? Not like a Kickstarter, but it's like any paid services that they have that offer exclusive access to them.
Yeah, no, right. And it is a little bit more of a challenge for artists because a lot of them, particularly musical artists, they depend on live events, being in front of people to be able to sell them merchandise and being able to sell tickets. And that is kind of what people go out to these venues for, is to have that experience, and then they take home something from that. So that might be a little bit of a struggle for those types of artists. But there are a lot of other options that now they can start looking at. How can I start licensing my music? Can I create my own YouTube channel? Can I create a Patreon page where I can start doing something exclusive for my supporters? And I can only speak really to musicians and what I know that they're doing, but I would imagine every other kind of artist has that same opportunity. For example, doing online classes. For example, if you're a chef, certainly you can do online cooking classes or private instruction over Zoom. So yeah, definitely there are a lot of options. And the people who are go-getters, who are smart about it, I think they'll survive.
Right. No, yeah, I was just thinking about this the last couple of weeks. I mean, our economy is largely a service-based economy, and that's basically been, kind of cut off over the last 2-3 months, and it doesn't look like that's going to abate anytime soon. I mean, we just, here at Cal State Fullerton, we got an email yesterday saying, don't travel for the next year. No domestic travel even for the next year. And if you have to have an internal meeting, try to do it virtually. Don't, unless you absolutely have to do it in person. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a while longer that we're still under what we're doing now. So on that happy note, is there anything else you would like to share?
No, I would just like to say thanks again for this entire experience that we had with working with you and with the incubator team. It was extremely valuable to us, and I certainly recommend that anyone that's watching this video look into it before you start spending any significant amount of money on your brilliant idea, which is probably brilliant, but might as well validate it.
It is brilliant. We just help it be more brilliant, I guess, or be more feasible.
Right, absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much, Vinay.
Thanks, Travis.